What's up, everyone? If there's a fork out there of Olympus that I think actually has the potential to go somewhere long term, I definitely think it's Wonderland Time. Now, of course, yes, there are other forks of Olympus out there that I am going to be reviewing soon here in the future that I do also think have a potential, but right now, I'm very bullish on Wonderland, and it's definitely my favorite one. So in this video, we're going to be talking about Wonderland Time, how it works, why I'm so bullish on this project, how much I've made staking in Wonderland Time over the last 2 or so weeks, and how you can turn a $1,000 investment into over $800,000 in just 1 year. Also, remember guys, this is not investment advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always go do your own research. Be safe out there. With that said, let's jump into this video. Now, the initial reason I got into Wonderland Time is because the obvious success I was seeing that people are making these insane gains with Olympus DAO, right? Olympus DAO right now has a crazy APY of like 7,000%, and they have definitely been around a good amount of time. They've been around since last March, so they've definitely kind of proved themselves, or at least stood a small test of time so far. So when I was seeing all these people making these insane gains in Olympus DAO, staking their money in there, taking advantage of the 7,000% APY, I was getting a little bit jealous. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, man, well, how did I not find out about this back, last March when it launched? I was like, I was so late to the party, I felt like, and I was so mad at myself I didn't know about this earlier. Now, I do still believe, of course, investing in Olympus is a great idea. It's a great project, and I think it's going to be around for a pretty long time here. They're really accomplishing a lot of the things that they're setting out to do already, which is super great for the project. However, their market cap was already pretty big by the time I found them, and if you really want to be the people who are making those insane gains, you know that you have to be some of the people who find the project in the first, probably 1 to 3 months if you really want to be benefiting off of those crazy long-term gains, because one, the compounding effect of something like a 7,000% APY, and also because of just the insane price hike once more people come in and start adopting the project. So for me, seeing that Olympus had already been around for over a year, I was like, man, I already missed out on the buzz. It's not even worth it for me to jump in now, especially because it's built on top of the Ethereum network, which, to be honest, this was the biggest turnoff for me, because if you have done any transactions on the Ethereum network, or you know what I'm talking about, those gas fees are just absolutely ungodly right now. I mean, if I wanted to stake something like $600 into Olympus, it'd probably cost me, depending on the time of day, somewhere between $100 to like $450 just to stake something simple like $600. So for me, someone who's not looking to stake, thousands of dollars, obviously you're putting in like $5,000, $6,000, $8,000, whatever, paying a gas fee of like $300, $400 is probably not a big deal to you. But for me, I was not looking to put in a crazy amount of money. So seeing that I had to pay such an insane amount of gas, it was just an instant turnoff for me. And I was just like, well, I'm already late to the game and I don't want to pay all this gas fees just to get my money in. So I'm just going to skip out on this project. Then at the end of October, after doing some research, I came across Wonderland Time. And if you thought Olympus's 7,000% APY was crazy right now, Wonderland Time at the time I got in was boasting like an 85,000% APY. But I actually didn't end up getting in until probably that second week of November because I was a little bit nervous, finding this, seeing that insane APY. I was like, okay, this is a big red flag. So I took about a week, almost 2 weeks, just researching, trying to find like, is this like a scam? Is this a massive rug pull? Like, how is someone providing a crazy APY like that? Which we'll get into in just a second. But let's go ahead and just put that crazy 80,000% plus APY into perspective. So let's say you invested $1,000 right now, and at the time of me recording this, time right now is around $7,100. So if you were to put in $1,000 right now, and let's just assume the price doesn't change, in just 1 month time, your $1,000 investment would now be worth $1,700. So in just 1 short month, you made $700. Then in 3 months, your $1,000 investment would be worth over $5,000 just in 90 days. In 1 year, your $1,000 investment would be worth over $800,000. In 2 years, your $1,000 investment would then turn into $653 million. Then in just 3 short years, your $1,000 investment would be worth over $522 billion, making you richer than Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos combined. So congratulations, you made it. You're now the richest person in the world. Now, obviously, an APY like this is not sustainable long term, and we can see that with Olympus DAO, right? Because if we go back on Olympus DAO's page, we can see that at one point, their APY was also this crazy number, like $100,000 plus, and as more and more people start piling into the project, that APY significantly drops off because now that reward pool has to be split between more people. So I'm going to try and explain this the best I can because it's a little bit confusing and it definitely took me a while to understand this, a lot of videos and a lot of reading to understand how this works. So at the beginning of this video, I mentioned that Wonderland Time is a fork of Olympus, meaning that it basically just operates the exact same way. So let's explain kind of how that works. So like Olympus, how each Ohm token is backed by one DAI, in Wonderland Time, each Time token is backed by one MIM. Now, MIM and DAI are both just stable coins. Now, stable coins mean that they are just pegged to the dollar value, meaning that one MIM and one DAI is exactly equal to $1. They are exactly pegged to that dollar. So with every time token being backed by one MIM, that means each time token has an intrinsic value of $1, meaning they can never go below $1. However, the time token is also allowed to free float, meaning that the price of time can free float as high as the market is willing to pay for it. Similar to like Bitcoin or Ethereum, right? They're free floating market prices, meaning that they can go as high or as low as the market is willing to pay. However, in the case of time, it can only go as low as $1. Now, what makes it able to pay out this insane APY is the treasury. And it's going to get a little bit confusing here, you guys, so I wrote it out very clearly here so I don't botch it trying to remember it and just rip off the top of my mind. So if I'm not looking right at you, excuse me for a few seconds. So just like the Olympus Treasury, the Wonderland Treasury sells bonds to people, except the Wonderland Treasury just has a different term for bonds. They call it minting. So how this works is investors will give MIM to the Treasury in exchange for time at a discounted price. So let's kind of break this down in a little bit of a simplified example with some numbers. So for example, let's say the price of one time token is $100 if you were just to go to the normal market and buy it, right? Like Coinbase or something. But the Wonderland Treasury will sell you a bond to buy one time at $50. Now that's clearly a great deal, right? Because on the normal market, you have to pay twice as much as you do through a bond. So how does this make sense for the Treasury for them to sell you something at a $50 discount? Now remember, when you are going to buy this bond, you are going to be paying the Treasury in MIM tokens. And it only takes one MIM to mint one new time token, because remember, each time token is backed by one MIM. Even though the price of time has floated well above that $1 now, it still only takes one MIM to mint one new time token. So you give them 50 MIM tokens, right, in exchange to receive the time token at $50. So now they're able to go and mint 50 new time tokens, which they can go and now sell on the market to stakers or people just buying the token, allowing them to turn a profit. And it's a win for you because you get time at a discounted price, and the Treasury was able to mint 50 new time tokens and turn a profit on them. Essentially, it's just a really well thought out arbitrage model here, and it's going to allow them to profit like crazy, always having an excess amount of money that they can pay out. And now this is where we can see how the APY is actually able to be paid out. Because of the super well thought out arbitrage model here, the Treasury is able to obtain an excess amount of profits. With those excess amount of profits, they're doing two things. The first thing they are doing is they are paying out all the people staking, right? They are paying out the rewards with this arbitrage model to all the stakers. The second thing they are doing is they are going and buying up their own liquidity. Now we can see how this crazy APY just is not going to last forever, right? Because as more people start piling in and joining the project, obviously the less rewards are going to be paid out to everyone. So now that we kind of vaguely understand how this works and how they're able to pay out this insane APY, let's now talk about why I'm actually super bullish on this project. One of the reasons being that if there ever is this huge sell-off where everyone just all of a sudden starts unstaking their time and starts leaving the project, is that even if the price, then drops from $7,500 all the way down to like $3,000, it's not going to affect me in the long term, right? Because if everyone starts dropping out, what's going to happen to that APY? If there's less people in the staking pool, that means the rewards are going to get bigger for the people who are still remaining in the pool. If we go from 1,000 people in the pool back down to 100 people in the pool, that means my rewards are going to get a lot bigger, as the APY is then going to just absolutely skyrocket as a ton of people all of a sudden start unstaking and are no longer in the reward pool. Which is good for me because that means even though, yes, maybe in the short term I suffer from a loss of the time token going down in value, but over a year, the APY and the compounding effect will catch up to itself, making me still come out on top. And obviously, if there is this crazy APY, what's that going to do? That's going to make a lot of people want to actually jump back into the project because they are seeing this super lucrative number again for the APY. Of course, though, that is just a theory, as there has never been a huge sell-off of time like that or people unstaking, and hopefully we actually don't ever have to discover that. The next reason I'm pretty bullish on this is because I just don't see a logical reason why there ever would be a huge sell-off of time or just a huge like dump of people staking their time. And that's because of the compounding interest, right? I think a lot of people who get into this understand that, yeah, you might make some good money, a couple $100 in the first month, but you're not going to start seeing that crazy effect of compounding interest until at least after 90 days. And after those 90 days, you're going to see this insane amount of money. And why would you want to pull out then, right? You're going to want to stay in for the next 90 days and then 90 days after that and 90 days after that. And you're going to want to see your money 2x, 4x, 5x, 6x, right? I mean, it just doesn't make sense for me why people would want to pull out early when they've only made like $200. If you only wanted to make $200, you can make that a lot quicker by go trading some like crazy altcoins or something. Then there is the fact that Time Wonderland is built on top of the Avalanche network. So it is a fork of Olympus, meaning it's the exact same, but it's just built on top of a different network. The reason why I even got into Time Wonderland is because it is on top of the AVAX network, which is crazy fast compared to the Ethereum network, and it is ridiculously much cheaper than the Ethereum network. Right now, the Ethereum network gas fees, like I said, are anywhere between $100 to like $450. The AVAX network fees are anywhere between like a tenth of a cent to like $1 sometimes. They're never ever that crazy. I think when I staked my time on Wonderland, only cost me something like 3 cents or something crazy low. So I think as more people start to discover these DAOs like Olympus and realize, oh my gosh, these gas fees are just ridiculous, they're going to want to come over to a project like Wonderland Time where they can get the same APY and not have to pay those insane gas fees. So it's just a way less expensive way to get started in this game for newbies and just for all around people, right? No one wants to just give away an extra $300 in gas fees ever. Also, one of the founders of Time is super public, Daniel Sesta. And not only is he super public, which is a good thing when the founders have their actual faces out there, because obviously people are a lot less likely to rug pull a project when everybody knows what you look like and where to find you. Daniel is also super successful in the crypto space, and he's definitely proven himself as a great founder and a great player in the crypto space. And I really believe in him, and that was another one of the big reasons I finally just dove headfirst into this project. Now, we could talk all day about all the great things about Wonderland Time, but it is not a risk-free investment. At the end of the day, you have to evaluate the risk for you. One of the big things that I did not like when I was getting into it is the fact that they are actually not an official DAO yet, meaning that there are still a small group of people who control what happens with the project. Now, they have made it very public that they are actively working on becoming a DAO in the near future, which is good news. So for me to see they are working on becoming a DAO is a great sign for me. The next big risk here is if the meme token that backs Time ever just absolutely fails and goes to zero. For some reason, it goes insolvent or whatever happens. If meme ever fails and goes to zero, then that means that there is nothing backing Time, which means that Time could also fall and go completely to zero at some point. So with all that said, about 2 weeks ago, I staked $1,700 into Wonderland Time when the price was somewhere around like $8,500 or $8,600. And because it was on the AVAX network, it only costed me like 10 cents to stake that time. And now, roughly 2 weeks later, at the time of me recording this, the price of Time has actually significantly dropped to around $7,100. But my $1,700 investment has turned now into, I'm looking at it, a little bit over $2,100. So even though the price of Time has actually fallen, and to be fair, the whole crypto market and stock market has definitely taken a big hit this last week, I have still made over $400 staking my time. And this is what I was talking about when I was mentioning that even with the price falling a bit, the crazy APY is covering my base right now with the rebase rewards. So the APY has covered my initial investment with the price drop, still allowing me to turn a profit. And you know, my strategy here is really just to let this money ride, let that $1,700 ride that I put into this until I have made my money back, which then I'll pull that money off the table and take that money and go put it into another investment or another project, allowing me to basically be risk-free on the project and letting the rest just ride and benefit from that crazy APY. So over the next upcoming weeks, I'll definitely be doing more in-depth Wonderland Time videos and more update videos on my Wonderland portfolio, because there's just so much more to this project that you need to know about. So make sure you stick around for those guys. Hit that subscribe button for me, like this video for me. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like on this video for me and let me know down in the comments what other crypto projects or crypto DAOs should I be looking at and potentially getting into now while they're still pretty small. And with that said, thanks for watching this video, everyone, and I'll catch you on the next one.